Well, good morning. Every day we rise is a great day to be alive. And welcome to the Portsmouth Coffee Talk podcast. I'm James Slim Overton, one of the hosts, and here with Leah Drake Stitt and Thomas the Colonel Chapman. He won't be here this morning. He has some business to take care of, but we will move on. So, well, before we go any further, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment and share this important show with other people, your friends, your foes, and everybody you can think of. So this morning we're going to talk about the historically Black high school.
Yes.
The IC Norcom High School. So Leah, you want to get us going by introducing your guest and get the conversation going.
James, I'm just so happy that you're giving us this format this morning at a wonderful time in the life of the IC Norcom family, because there are a lot of things that we have planned for this year. And this gives us an opportunity to get the information out to a broad base. So once again, we want to say thank you so very much. And I'm so excited to have my vice president on board, and that's none other than Dr. Samara Montgomery from the great city of Portsmouth, Virginia, and a 1991 graduate of IC Norcom High School. We are supposed to be joined by our public relations person. I guess he will be coming on a little later, but we just want to say we just thank you for this opportunity and giving us to share this information this morning. Oh, there he is.
Good morning.
Roderick, I just announced you. I said you would be on later. Roderick is public relations, and Roderick, you're from the class of 2008. The class of 2008. So we got 1991 represented, 2008, and the wonderful and the most historic class of 1967. The one that gave us our first Norcom graduate to be a high school principal and your president for so many times. So thank you all so very much for being on this morning. And we want to just talk a little bit about Norcom and what's going on at Norcom and the things that we're doing here with the Alumni Association. You know, it's I think before we get started, it behooves us to, of course, to congratulate our own Norcom grad, none other than Dorian Finney-Smith, who has now been traded to the Lakers and looks like he's going to have a wonderful part in that Laker team. So we want to say congratulations to Dorian Finney-Smith, who was part of our three-peat basketball championship team. Congratulations to the Finney family. And we are so excited for you, Dorian, and may God bless you and take care of you in this next venture of your journey. So, James, I think it's important that we should mention at this time that, the IC Norcom Alumni Association actually had its beginning in the 1920s. There was an IC Norcom Alumni Association in the 1920s. It was revived in 1983 by Helen Edge and some of her classmates who came together to reestablish the IC Norcom Alumni Association. So the Alumni Association has been around for quite some time. Also, I think it's incumbent upon us to let those who are a little confused that, in Virginia, we had 115 historically Black high schools. Now we're down to 3 historically Black high schools. And Booker T is one, Armstrong is the other, and IC Norcom High School. And IC Norcom is the second oldest historically Black high school in the nation. Some people get a little confused because they want to go by the date that the school was changed. The name was changed to IC Norcom High School. The school was actually established at the Chestnut Street School in 18 what, Roderick? 18. Come on.
He's on mute.
He's on mute. Samara, 1878.
78, yeah.
So we are just so happy.
And I'm over here trying to get my background like Samara.
Okay. But our school actually goes back to 1878.
Yeah, Roger, that looks like a lineup.
Right.
Do something. That looks like
When the first historically black school, first school was established for blacks, and later it was changed to Israel Charles Norcom High School after Mr. Norcom's death. So there are two dates that there seem to be some conflict there, but there's no real conflict if you look at the history of the school. So, but anyway, I wanted to give you a little background on IC Norcom High School, and we're so excited about a lot of the plans that we have for this year. And I'm so excited to have my chair of my what do you call Samara?
Program planning.
Program planner on board. Thank you. Had a senior moment there, y'all. You have to forgive me. I do have those sometimes now. But we're so happy to have Samara who will share with us now. And Samara, kind of go chronologically as to what we are planning for 2025.
Well, I would like to thank you all for having Roderick and myself on to speak about the programs that we have coming up, because we would love for the community to be involved. We are IC Norcom, however, we are known as an organization that reaches out to our community, and everything is not just limited to specifically Norcom. However, we know that the background that we come from is IC Norcom High School. We have a couple of different things that are coming up. The biggest, the largest we have is our grand reunion. I had to start off with that because everything will lead up to that big event. In February, let me go back. In December, Madam President had this vision of, she went to it was a R&B, it was actually an R&B bingo, right, Madam President?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And she attended it, and she called and was like, oh, I think this will be great for IC Norcom. Let's go ahead on, and, I think it'll be great for us to do. Now, I'm thinking, oh, okay, yeah, that'll be cool. We'll do it next year. She was like, oh, yeah, no, we need to get that going like within the next couple of weeks, because I want to see this thing happen before the end of the year. So to make a long story short, Miss Alumni stepped in and really helped LaShanta Parker. She stepped in and really helped reel everything in and organize it. It was at Hypnotics in Portsmouth, and it was a fun time. It was, if you look online at Madam President's page, she is low-key. She is our social media guru. She has thousands of followers. Her page is always up to date with everything that we're doing, including lives. So we had
Roger.
Yeah. We had it. It was a great time, and it was so nice. We got to do it twice. So in February, we'll be having another R&B bingo. It sold out the first time in less than 2 weeks. We anticipate it selling out again. It will be at Hypnotic again.
If it's not the dogs, it's the children. What can I say?
No, I apologize. It will be a Hypnotic again. It'll be champagne and love songs this time for the February theme. We're looking forward to that. It's $20 cover charge. And I would like to say that everything that we do in some way, shape, or form goes toward the program and planning of the students at Norcom. So whether it's specific to the scholarship, or specific to individuals, or specific to departments, we are always doing something to help support the students at IC Norcom. Moving on to February, we have our scholarships our scholarship applications that will be opening in February. And everything that I am speaking of will be on the website that you can reference on the website. So our scholarship application opens February the 1st and closes on April 15th. And I'm gonna let, I don't want to take everything from our public relations Roderick. He'll speak more about the specifics with the grand reunion. So I'm going to stop right there because I feel like I'm talking too much. But we have a lot going on.
Roger.
No, you weren't talking too much.
Okay.
Good morning to everyone. Thank you for having me this morning. With respects to the grand reunion, we do have our date set for September 19th through the 21st. That will align with Mr. Norcom's birthday. It will be held at the Rivers Casino in Portsmouth this year. We did have it at the Renaissance Hotel in Portsmouth, 2 years ago now?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just excited for this new venue, for us to be able to have a lot more things that are, conducive to having people come and enjoy themselves, specifically with the casino, as well as other restaurants and things that are at the casino. I know we are waiting on a theme. We haven't come up with a theme just yet, but I'm pretty sure we'll have that probably in the next few weeks. And we'll start selling tickets as soon as possible.
Very good. Very good. So we're looking at February, our love a bingo game, and you bring your loved one with you. And you can also, for $5, have a special dedication made to your loved one, James. And you know better find that right song for Benet when you show up now, okay? But
Yes, yes, indeed.
we're
I'm
excited
gonna show
about
up this time.
there you go. You're gonna show up this time. But we're excited about the bingo game, which will take place. And of course, we have DJ Decisive, who will be spinning the music for us at the bingo game. He did an amazing job last year. And this time it's going to be Motown love songs. So this should be easier for some folks who are having a time trying to find the other songs. But this is going to be Motown love songs bingo game. And as we said, it's not your average mother's bingo game. This is a fun time where not only do you play bingo, you sing, you dance, you eat. The food was amazing at Hypnotics when we were there. So we just look forward to it. And like I said, the space is limited. So get your tickets early because it's going to sell out. So get your tickets early. That's all I can say. It's only $20. And then, the additional items that you can purchase, like more tickets for your more cards to play bingo, as well as we will have raffles where you will win prizes. And once again, every hour for 3 hours on the hour, a person can win $100. And then we have the 50-50 raffle, in which we'll be selling tickets there for the 50-50 raffle. And a young lady who was not a Norcom graduate won our raffle last year, and she was truly excited about having won. But there are a lot of great things going on with IC Norcom and the Alumni Association. And we're
Yeah.
also, Roderick, were you about to say something, Roderick?
Now, I was going to ask the question about the bingo. Uh, it's going to be a lot of other activities there. For somebody who might not want to play bingo. Some people have issue that some people do. So it sounds like it'll be a lot of other things to do because
Yes, yes. There's food, there's dancing, there's
Fellowship.
singing. It's just a fun
Yeah.
time. It's really focused on bringing people more so than the focus of the bingo. It's focused on bringing people together to enjoy each other in a safe, loving environment, and that's what it's all about. A time for us to come together.
and then I had a question for Roderick. It's going to be at this casino this time. Is the casino has more capacity than the Renaissance? Because I'm sure people after the word got out about the last one, we're going to have more people probably interested in coming. So
I'm as it is to my knowledge, I do think that it does hold more than the Renaissance, and I think that, to be very, quite frankly, honest, it's a better option for us when it comes to just what we're able to do at this venue versus the Renaissance Hotel.
okay, thanks.
So, Samara, did you mention the scholarship brunch that we have coming up in March? And give
No,
us a
I
little
did.
more details on the scholarship brunch
Yes.
every year.
Every year, so we have our scholarship applications that open up for 2 months. And after we award the scholarships, we like to celebrate our scholars. And we celebrate them with having a scholarship brunch. And that brunch is typically the first Saturday in June. We are finalizing our venue and everything, but typically it's the first Saturday in June. And we have our scholars come, and individuals that donate, we also invite them. And the scholar that is awarded their scholarship, they sit at the table with them so that they are able to meet and fellowship with the ones that gave them an opportunity to further to assist them in furthering their education. So that's always a big thing that we love to do every year. It was teacher appreciation. We also reach out during teacher appreciation time, and we love to give back and have a grand theme for teacher appreciation in for our IC Norcom teachers, staff, and administration. So we will be doing that for Teacher Appreciation Week, which will be in May, if I'm not mistaken, it's May. Yeah, it's in May. So we have a couple of other things that we can't speak on right now, but we will be giving everyone adequate notice, and once things are finalized with venues for other things that we are drumming up.
And and while we're talking about the Alumni Association, I think it's important for us to. I ran into a lady yesterday who just said, "Oh, Norcom High School. I would never have my child to go to Norcom High School. It's a horrible place." I said, Have you been to Norcom High School lately?" I said, "The thing that you have to know about Norcom High School is that we have an administrative staff that is really taking charge of the building. There are not situations taking place in the building that have taken place in the past. And no longer is she allowing Norcom to be a dumping ground for students who were thrown out of other schools and then placed into IC Norcom High School. The environment at Norcom has changed 100%. And I encourage you, before making a judgment, come back and see some of the great things that are taking place at IC Norcom High School. Our Scholastic Bowl team is doing an amazing job with winning in the Scholastic Bowl. Our basketball and football teams have done an amazing job. So not only are they allowing the young people to play sports, but they're encouraging them also to develop themselves as young men and women, which is extremely important, which is historically a part of IC Norcom High School. Now, Roderick is now the band association president, and I think Roderick should share some of the things that are going on with the band at IC Norcom High School.
Yes, I have to give a shout out to the band director, Mr. Mac Jones, who did graduate from a rival school, unfortunately, Highland Springs. But he marched at Highland Springs at the same time that I marched at Norcom, and is now the band director at IC Norcom High School. They have done a really great job. The band program is currently in the process of rebuilding its program. But I will say that the program in general, when it comes to music, and I think this may be a citywide thing, is just lacking funding in supporting music education in the city of Portsmouth. There are students that need instruments, that have classes that are required classes that don't have instruments to play. And they have to borrow instruments from other surrounding schools. There are some tubas and instruments there that were there when I graduated. So it's been a very long time since they've been swapped out for new instruments, instead of having to constantly get them repaired. But the program is doing very well under the leadership of Mac Jones. They are growing, but I will say also it is kind of hard as well, because this goes to music education in general, with trying to have feeder programs to high school. We don't really have any elementary or middle school programs that are strong enough to feed the high school program. So you're having students coming in their freshman year into high school learning an instrument for the first time, which is very hard to do and very hard to teach a student on a high school level of playing when they should have been playing in elementary school and middle school, and getting that experience on their instrument by the time they get to high school. So there are some struggles that we have had, but I will say that the program is doing really well. The kids sound amazing. They're enthusiastic. I think we're turning the tide of, having students and kids interested in music again. It's a little bit different than when we were in school. We didn't have as many distractions as kids do now with anything that's going on in their lives, whether it's extracurricular activities or just having things to do more than we did. We wanted to stay back from school. I didn't want to go home. It's wonderful to see that we are kind of turning the corner on students wanting to be engaged in music, and seeing the culture of band come back. And I'm excited to see what they do in 2025.
Thank you, Roderick. Thank you. James, you had a
Yeah,
question?
you know, yeah, I was going to say, Roger, you were spot on with that, because back in the day, in your day, our day, they used to have those schools that fed the band, and that's why the bands were so large.
Mm-hmm.
And we still have the junior high schools. Do you know if there's anything being planned as far as the school board or something like that to put those programs back in the junior high schools, especially with them talking about another junior high coming up? Or is it something that you and the alumni band can do to sort of spark some interest in these kids? Because that's the main reason why we don't have the big bands anymore, because it starts way before you get in high school. So
It does.
uh,
And I will say it's not that they're not there. There's no real funding going to those
okay,
programs.
Yeah, because they
Um,
still have band programs
they
in
do.
in the middle schools.
Mhm.
okay, it's
Uh-huh.
not enough funding to really pour
Correct.
into what it needs to be.
Correct. And
Mhm.
I always try to let people know, students who engage in music 9 times out of 10 have better grades and do better in school than any other sport or extracurricular activity that they do in high school. And that is a proven track record across the country. Um, so for me, it's like, well, why wouldn't you invest in music education when it comes to your students, especially a program, and I'm speaking specifically just for Norcom right now, specifically a program that has the history of being a very prestigious and award-winning program.
Right.
All the way from the time of Emery Fears. He had a program that was, I think they got 19 superior ratings in the 19 to 20 years that he was at IC Norcom High School, which is unheard of. And for me, I think that I've actually gone to the school board. I've gone to the new director over music for the city, and I've advocated for support. For not only for IC Norcom High School, but for music education in general in the city of Portsmouth, because it not only affects Norcom, but it affects every other music program in the city. And it affects us being able to build music programs at Norcom, as well as Churchland and Anna.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that too, so people will know that the Alumni Association is does a lot more than just the things that you mentioned earlier. There are people out there advocating for other things outside of what you normally do, especially because if nobody says anything, it's not too much that's going to be done about it. So
Hmm.
hopefully,
No,
if you keep doing what you're doing. Go ahead.
Hmm.
I'm sorry.
no, I know. I was saying I totally agree. If like you said, if no one says anything, nothing's going to be done. And I've heard multiple times that there were certain city council members that were, frustrated or angry that we would do fundraisers or ask people for money, but like, where's the money supposed to come from if we're not, we're doing fundraisers, because it's not coming from the city. So where else is the money going to come from? And for me, I would love to see more support in music education from the city, so that we can compete on a higher level when it comes to band competitions, across the country, whether it's parades or competitions, or showcases. That's why if you look at down south bands, they are so huge when they get to college. It's because they're bred from elementary school through middle school through
Right.
high school. It's why those college programs are so successful.
And it's
Thank
so important. Music is the avenue to college
you.
for a
Hmm.
lot of students.
It is. It is.
A lot of students wouldn't go to college if it wasn't for their participation in band, choir, and everything. And just like you mentioned, Roderick, it's not just a Norcom issue; it's a citywide issue.
Citywide.
So
Hmm.
hopefully, people will go to the right place. That's why, Leah, we want to have shows about civics and teaching
Yes.
people where to go to advocate
Yes.
for certain
To
things.
advocate.
You know,
That's for sure.
don't waste your time in city council if it's a school board issue. So
Exactly. Exactly. And and while Roderick is mentioning the band, I think it is important too, for us to also say that we are working to keep the history of Mr. Norcom alive with the students who are currently in the school. Many of the students, one time, there in the time past, we had teachers who had graduated from Norcom and teachers who understood the history of Norcom. We don't have, I think, maybe one or two teachers, if that many, at Norcom now who were Norcom graduates. So it's incumbent upon us to work with the students and to help them to know the reason why there is such a love for IC Norcom High School. Now, when the new administration came in, the first thing they had to deal with was discipline. So they've gotten discipline under control. So now they are focusing on academics. She is working hard. She and her team are working hard to get the academics of the students up to par. Now, we as the Alumni Association, we go in like during the month of September, and we have a celebration. Last year was the first time, at a celebration of Mr. Norcom's birthday for a week, in which the students did activities. Our library staff is amazing. Miss Bushy and Miss Miller Bracy, they have embraced the ideas that we bring to them. And last year we had a week of learning about the history of Israel Charles Norcom. And the students did this through readings, they did it through games, they did it through poetry, they did it through the art department. It was an amazing week to see the young people actually engaged in learning about the history of Israel Charles Norcom. And so we are doing more things to get the young people to see why there is this love. When we are invited to events, banquets, we try to make sure that we get tables for the young people to come out so that they can be a part of what's taking place. So it's important that we reach back, not only celebrate our time at IC Norcom High School, but we have to celebrate those young people who are there now and just get them to the point where they are encouraged and to see why there's a love, why you need to be your best, and how do you get to be your best. So it's important for us to give that back to the students, and we are working on that in numerous facets. We have a group of young people who are administrators and educators on campuses. Roderick has that group. They come in, and we are trying to devise ways in which we can get our children onto these college campuses and let them meet these individuals and find a way to mentor our young people so that they too have a chance to move on and to advance in this life. So we're just trying to do the things that Thomas Chapman said, if you don't know or respect your history, then the mistakes of the past will repeat. And that is for sure. Because if we didn't have a love for our history, we would have been shut down a long time ago. Because they tried in the 70s, they tried in the 90s, and they have tried numerous times to close IC Norcom High School. So it's important that you know your history. And I'm thankful that we have a marker now that's saying we are historical. So hopefully that means that you cannot come at us again to say we want to close this school down, because we are historically Black high school. So anything you want to add, Samara or Roderick?
I'll just say, and just to piggyback off of what Madam President said, it's why we started the Collegiate Advisory Board, which will be reconvening and meeting this month. The Collegiate Advisory Board was started out of the love for the school, and for us to be able to bring in prominent graduates that have graduated from the institution and gone on to do wonderful things in their own respective careers, to be able to come together as a collective and give of their resources and their connections to the students at IC Norcom High School. So, just to name a few, there's Dr. Cynthia Turner, who is a professor at The Ohio State University. You have Dr. Kimberly Jones, who is over the director of the EPA at Howard University, who is a graduate as well, class of 1986. So there's a lot of prominent collegiate graduates that came from IC Norcom that sit on this board, that will be there to help in any way possible in the progression and forward pushing of the institution.
And as Roderick says that, also it is incumbent upon me to mention that we have some great workers in the IC Norcom Alumni Association. It's not just the three of us. We have some amazing people who, when we call on them, they are ready to work, and we appreciate each and every one of them. And we have some who may not be able to attend meetings, but they do come out and they support us. And if we call upon them to help us, they do help us. And as I mentioned meetings, I should mention that, the alumni dues is only $25 a year. You can't even buy McDonald's for $25 anymore. So it's only $25 a year. The time has come. If you paid last year, the time is now to pay again this year. Also, the lifetime membership is $400. So we're thankful to those individuals who continue to get their membership, to get their lifetime membership. And as well as, we have some people who give consistently to our school. We have a young man named Joyce Jones, class of 2003. Every year he gives $5,000 for scholarship for a student. And that's just, it just says a lot, and it helps the students to see that there are individuals who care about you, and there's individuals who are willing to help you to advance your education. Samara?
I just want to also say, piggybacking on that we have lots of committees. If you would love to volunteer, if you have time, we have many activities coming up, and we have our membership committee. We have teacher appreciation if you want to come and serve when we are honoring our teachers, staff, and administration at Norcom. We have grand reunion that's coming up. We could use all the hands and help that we can get with that. There are so many committees that you could feel where you fit. So we also have scholarship committee. So it's not just about us. it's more about us coming together and working together, because like Madam President said, it's not just the three of us, it's a lot of us that come, and when it's called, when duty calls, when Madam President puts it out there, there's a swarm of people, and we need more. We always need more to assist in everything that we do. So if you think, if this is a new year, and if you were thinking, okay, I think I want to volunteer, we would love for you to volunteer your time with IC Norcom Alumni Association.
And we meet the first Tuesday of the month at IC Norcom High School in the library at 7:00. And for those individuals who are out of town, you can come on Zoom. We do offer a Zoom link for those individuals who have paid your dues. You're on our list, you're on our email list, so that we can send out the Zoom link to you so that you can participate from afar. So we do have those options. I have to mention Les Young, our AD. Our AD, since he has been there, I told him he's grafted into the family. He's not a Norcom grad, but his mother-in-law is a Norcom grad. She's from my class. Once again, that great class. But anyway, he has done
Who
an
is that?
amazing.
Jermaine?
What was that?
You were talking about Jermaine because he has
No,
two sons and a daughter
no,
that go
Les
to
Young.
IC Norton,
Les
and
Young.
both of them.
I'm talking about
One
Les
is
Young.
on the football field, one's on the basketball
Uh-huh.
court, and I think the daughter is on the basketball court. So
Yeah.
well represented. Look, I just wanted to say,
James, one quick thing there. I was mentioning
okay.
Les Young, who is our athletic director, who puts together the activities for homecoming activities, and he does a week-long activities for the graduates to come back to the school. As well as that, we have the biggest tailgate that you can imagine. People come through and they think that this is not a high school, but it is a college. A great tailgate. And he has been doing this since he has come to Norcom as his athletic director. He's done an amazing job of including the alumni in the activities at IC Norcom High School. I just had to give Les Young a shout out as well. I'm sorry, James. It's on you now.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That was important. I just wanted to say, because I'm a member of Virginia Union Alumni, and there's quite a few alumni associations, HBCU alumni associations here in the Hampton Roads area, and we are planning to get together and meet. It's Norfolk State, Delaware, Elizabeth City, Virginia State, and Hampton. And one of the focuses we want to have is going back to the high schools and making sure that they are aware of the HBCUs in the area and what they have to offer. I think that's going to be something that's going to really help. So I just wanted to get that out, and I'll bring back information, because hopefully, Leah, that Norcom can come on at least every quarter and
also,
give updates, and because you have alum here.
We would love to.
Yeah,
and
this
also,
is our
James,
show, so we can do what we want.
thank you. But also,
I
James,
want to ask this question, Leah,
one
because
thing, as you're
this has
preparing,
come up.
James, as you're preparing
Okay.
for that group to come together, I would encourage you to get Keita Armand involved. She is our parent liaison, and she does a college. What does she call it? She invites and urges colleges to come in, college week, to come in to share with the students. So, okay.
I will invite her to come to that meeting, and she's Virginia State. So,
yes.
But I wanted to ask this question because it comes up every year. You have the Alumni Association, and then you have, especially during the homecoming time, and then you have these other groups, different groups that some claim to be a part of the Alumni Association and some don't, but it gets people confused. Now, in my opinion, it's room for all of that, but how are we going to address that? I mean, are we talking to some of those groups to make sure that they don't use the association name? Because I think you're working on getting it copyrighted or something like that. But it creates a confusion sometimes during homecoming and other times of the year. So is it anything working towards that, trying to make sure we're clear every year, what
Jay,
group is what, because I know it has presented a problem in the
it
past.
has. And James, I think one thing that we need to note is that many of them are graduates of Norcom, so they call themselves Norcom alumni. So as long as they don't use Norcom Alumni Association Incorporated, anything dealing with the Alumni Association will have IC Norcom High School Alumni Incorporated. We are an incorporation. Many of them are just graduates of Norcom, and they call themselves Norcom alumni, which they have the right to do. My only
Yeah.
concern is when they're doing these events that they give back to the school. Don't do it for your personal gain. Do it so that you would give back to the students. And that's why we're here. I mean, use if you want to use the name, that's fine. But please give back to the school to assist them in any way that any needs that they have. And Thomas
Yeah, I just
Chapman said
wanted
the
to
students
clear that
need
up
to
because
see, yeah,
just wanted to clear it up because I think it's some of the groups they don't have any bad intentions. They just like you said, most people they graduate, they feel like they're automatically alums, but that doesn't
hmm
mean that they are, but that doesn't mean that they're members of the alumni association,
exactly,
like you said.
exactly.
So it's just the
And,
communication
and,
between
and we
needs to get
encourage them
out
to
before.
join. And we encourage them to join, James. We would love for them to join the Alumni Association. And they can still have their thing as long as they give back to the school. That's all. That's the only
Right.
thing that I ask.
We'll take
Roger.
all the help we can get.
Uh-huh. So
Yeah,
Chapman says the
it shouldn't be
students
a competition thing. That's what.
no competition. We should
Mhm.
not be in competition with each other if we're
Right.
about the same end results. And that's helping the school and helping the students at the school. And that should be the focal point.
Go
Thomas
ahead.
Chapman says the students need to see prominent and successful leaders outside of the sports arena. 99.9% of the students will have a better chance of succeeding in life via the trades or academics. This group are the real role models. They don't give out turkeys twice a year and free Nike gear or book bags. Yes, that's help, but they could do more. And I agree with Thomas Chapman 100%. And in light of what he's saying now, we're thankful for Miss Efat, who is our guidance counselor, who has the Key Club, and she has the Norcom students. She has them out there and they are giving back to the community. They are volunteering in the community. They're attending events in the community. And she's making sure that these young people are getting scholarships as they prepare to graduate from IC Norcom High School. And Jermaine Green, you are right. Les Young is doing an amazing job at IC Norcom High School, and we are grateful for Les Young.
So
He's
the
right,
colonel,
he's
the
right about
colonel
the
isn't
value of
here, but he's
HBCU.
here.
Huh?
I
He's
see the
online.
colonel isn't here, but he's here.
Yes, he is. And he's right about the value of HBCUs would be prominently, especially in the next 4 years, because PWIs no longer have a need to meet a number in order to get African American students or students of who are non PWs, uh, to get into their universities. There's no need anymore. So a lot of them will be coming back to the HBCUs. I think it's going to be a growth of HBCUs as a result of some of the decisions the Trump administration has made. And we got Kevin Davenport on board. Kevin Davenport used to be our band director at IC Norcom High School. Kevin, thank you. And thank you for coming on this morning. We appreciate you and all that you've done as well for the IC Norcom family.
Thank you, Colonel, for your donation. We appreciate you.
Colonel always donates. He's a Western Branch grad, but he always gives to the IC Norcom Alumni Association, and we are always thankful for Colonel Thomas Chapman and his donations and his involvement with the IC Norcom family. See, we open our doors to anyone, and like we say, if you walk the halls of IC Norcom High School, we don't care if you didn't graduate from Norcom. If you have been a part of our family for a day, for a year, you are welcome to join the IC Norcom Alumni Association. There was some scuttlebutt on Facebook not long ago where a young lady said, well, I didn't graduate from Norcom and they told me that I couldn't join the Alumni Association. That is not true. Once you have walked those hallowed halls, you are a part of our family. And if you would like to join the Alumni Association, you are more than welcome because we also have a membership for those individuals who never walked the halls of Norcom. And that's an associate membership in which you can join the Alumni Association and join us and be a part of these historical moments that are taking place in the city of Portsmouth. We want to be, and we will continue to be. We used to be, and we will continue to be that bright light in the city of Portsmouth. Because once Mrs. Sanders and her team gets the academics underway, they've already gotten they're underway. They're
the behavior and the discipline. The behavior and discipline.
To make a move, and we will become that bright light in the city of Portsmouth once again.
And that was something that I spoke not too long about to Vice Mayor Lucas. Was, I asked her, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Blacksburg, Virginia, where Virginia Tech is located, but the whole area of Blacksburg, anything near Virginia Tech is Virginia Tech. So anything that you see, whether it's flags on poles, whether it's stuff in restaurants, like, it is all geared towards that school and the pride and love for that school. And that's something that I would honestly love to see happen in the city of Portsmouth, specifically downtown Portsmouth, because we are the closest and only high school in the downtown area. And we just happen to be a historically Black high school. And I spoke to her about making sure that we get flags on poles that you have come to the area of IC Norcom High School, to really push that pride even more throughout the city, and specifically that area of where the campus is, so that when you come there, you know where you are.
And we're in that new innovation zone as well, which would be a great
Correct.
thing, since we're part of that innovation zone, that we are included in the decision makings that they're making as
Correct.
far as developing that area.
Correct. I went to those meetings. Me and Michael Fletcher, we were very vocal about making sure that Norcom was included in this, and it was something that was widely accepted, because the innovation district starts at the MLK and goes all the way down to Effingham.
Mm-hmm.
So, Norcom is right in the center of that district, and it only makes sense that they are included.
So as we are quickly approaching 7:48, once again, I want to encourage everyone out there, whether you're a Norcom grad or you wanted to be a Norcom grad, just didn't get the chance to go because they zoned you someplace else, we invite you to join the IC Norcom Alumni Association. And only $25 a year, and that is going to change because we're getting ready to change our bylaws and our constitution. So you better join now. And $400 for a lifetime membership. Thomas Chapman said his brother Michael Chapman is an engineering graduate of Virginia Tech, and Roderick is correct. The city of Blacksburg is Virginia Tech. So
My
thank you,
son is a
Thomas.
Virginia Tech graduate as well.
Thank you, Thomas Chapman.
Let me say something about Thomas' brother, or the colonel's brother, Michael Chapman. He's still kind of involved as an engineer at Virginia Tech and Norfolk State. And every year he sends information to me, and I try to pass it on to the alumni about opportunities that they have to take students to Virginia Tech, to show them around, and for a weekend, and everything is free. Everything is free of charge. So
I love that.
As I get the information, I'll pass it on so we can pass it on to our students. I had another question before we run out of time here. The paraphernalia that's sold in Walmart and Kroger, a lot of people might buy it because they think they are supporting Norcom. Now, I don't know if anybody has checked into it. Does any of those proceeds from sales like that come back to the school in any way? Or is that even...
And not even can we give them to give us a donation when we have... I'm going to try it again. When we're having events to raise scholarship funds, I'm going back to Walmart. I'm going back to those and Walgreens. I'm going to go back again. because I even asked for donations to help us for our scholarship fund, items that we can raffle off. But no, we don't receive anything as a result of them.
Unfortunately not.
And if you look at those items, it does not even look like a dog. It looks like a pig running through some. It's
They're
really
low
disgraceful.
quality items.
It's low quality, very low quality.
If you would, I apologize, Madam President.
Samara.
We do sell our merchandise, and let me just hop on that. We are the first HBHS, historically Black high school, to partner with Crocs, and we have our Norcom Crocs that we will be selling. So you will see people walking around with these are official Crocs, not knockoffs. So you'll see people walking around with them. And if you would like to support us, not just with the shoes, but with paraphernalia, anything that we have, we'd love to have you, because again, it goes your feet in the community. So when you purchase our merchandise, it goes right back into the students.
And we see Les Young is on today. And Les, you've got a lot of accolades today, young man, for the great job that you're doing.
Yes. Kudos to you.
And Les, I told him that you're not a Norcom graduate, but you're grafted into the family because your mother-in-law is from the great class of 1967. So thank you, Les, for coming on this morning. So as I said, there's some great things going on at Norcom, and we need to tell our story. That's my whole theme, is that if you do not tell your story, somebody else is going to tell it for you, and they're not going to tell it the correct way.
I want to come in also really quickly, Madam President, and speak about the initiative that we started with regards to getting a statue of Mr. Norcom placed on the campus. This is an initiative that we have partnered with Delegate Darius Clark, who is a graduate of IC Norcom High School, as well as Vice Mayor Lucas. We did also speak to Senator Louise Lucas, who is in support of this initiative as well. We are waiting to hear back on how the state can be supportive in this initiative with respect to the funding of the project. Since there was a taking down of the Confederate statue in the city of Portsmouth, I think that this statue will serve as a beacon of light for the students as we acknowledge the first Black principal in the city of Portsmouth.
Great idea. And the last thing I want to get in, Leah, you mentioned about how hard the administration is working. They worked on discipline, and now they're working on bringing up the academics, the graduation rate, and all that. But I want to say, make an appeal to. We have a lot of great parents that are involved, but we need more parental involvement.
Exactly.
If it's not at school, make sure you're making sure those your children are doing their homework, or you're checking it like our parents did. You wouldn't let us slide by saying, yeah, I did it. They said, okay, let me see it. So, because we hear so many stories about the kid is failing, and then the parents at the end of the year, that's the first time they know about it. That's the first time they know the kid is failing.
The week before.
Right. And if you're not following up on your children at home, that's a big reflection on what they're going to do at school. So, make sure, it's your responsibility. I'll put it that way, to make sure your kid is doing what they're supposed to do. I know we're all busy, parents are busy, but you have to make that time to make sure they're doing what they do at home. And as far as academics and discipline, you can't send them to school and expect everything to just work out from the teachers and the administration. So it's a collaboration that needs to be stronger in order for us to succeed.
It definitely is. And just to piggyback on that, with me and my over 20 years being in education, teachers see your child more than you see your child. Teachers are attached to students for over 8 hours out the day.
Mhm.
So it's very important that you teach your children how to have respect for teachers.
Thank
Teachers,
you.
we are human just like everybody else. We have families, we have a lot going on, and we try our best to put it at the doorstep when we walk over the threshold. But it can be frustrating when you do have some parents that feed negativity into students.
Exactly.
So it's very, very important that you feed positivity. Let students know maybe your teacher had a bad day. You know, please, please, please be that light, like Madam President said, to your classmates and to your school, because it will help tremendously for teachers, because teachers, we're getting ready to be like a lot of like dinosaurs. They're creeping out the field due to a lot of the behavioral issues that they're getting in the
Mhm.
schools with their
But not
students.
only from the students, but behavior problems from some of the parents as well.
Yes,
So
yes,
parents need to really show a better disposition when they come into the schools as well. I mean,
yeah,
you may be upset about something, but there are always ways to handle uh, situations when you are upset. And it's not by being belligerent coming into the building and letting other kids see you behave in that way. And then they think that it's okay for them to behave in that way. So, um, but we're here. We're here for the students. We're here for the faculty. We're here for the staff. We give our birthday cards to our faculty and staff on their birthdays to let them know that we care about them. And we just try to support the school. We don't try to run the school. We don't come in and tell anybody how to do whatever it is they're doing. We are just here for support. And I have also been I've been working with the Woodrow Wilson Alumni Association, trying to help them as much as I can. I was a part of their reorganization. So we are here to embrace the other high schools in Portsmouth as well. And in any ways that we can assist them, we're here and willing and able to assist them as well. Because it's about all the students of Portsmouth. When all the students of Portsmouth do well, then Portsmouth becomes a better place to live. So, James, I want to thank you so very much for allowing the IC Norcom Alumni Association to be a part of our discussion on this morning. And a lot of my people don't get up early in the morning because many of them are retired. So they tell me, so, oh, we'll look at it on YouTube. I won't be up at 7 o'clock in the morning. So, so
Well,
anyway, they'll be watching on YouTube. And when you watch on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube page. We're trying to get our subscription up on the YouTube page. Invite your family and friends to come on and to listen to some of the great things that are taking place with the IC Norcom Alumni Association and the IC Norcom family. And we will be keeping you up to date as to the activities that are taking place. Don't forget bingo, February
yes.
7th, $20. Go to ICNAAINC. Get your
NC.org.
ticket because when it's sold out, it will be sold out.
Matt, can I
Yes.
just have one announcement, because my sorors will probably say something. Happy Founders Day to the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Thank you so much for everything that Coffee Talk has done in our community, and I appreciate each and every one of you.
Thank you, Samir. Dr. Montgomery. Roderick?
I just want to say thank you guys for having me. Thank you for the constant support as we continue to build and reshape the Alumni Association and bring it into the 21st century. And I'm looking forward to the next chapter as we go into the celebration of 147 years.
Mm-hmm. So, James, once again, we want to say thank you. Thank you so very much. It was James' idea, and I appreciate him having the idea and allowing us to be a part of Portsmouth Coffee Talk on this morning. And once again, if you want to reach the IC Norcom Alumni Association, it is ICNAAINC.org. That's www.icnaainc.org. You can get your membership. You can also pay your money for the bingo and find out what's taking place at with the IC Norcom Alumni Association on our website. Thank you once again, James. It's over to you.
yes, and thank you all for coming on. Education is important, and that's what the Alumni Association is all about, education all around and supporting our students. And the invitation goes out to the Woodrow Wilson Alumni Association, the new established, which
Yeah,
Leah, you helped to put it
Rodrika
together.
Harmon. Rodrika
Right.
Harmon.
And at this moment, most of the members of that school look like us. So we need to support them too. So the invitation goes out to you to come on too. And like I said, we hope to have you back quarterly to give updates on what's going on. And so people can know what's going on and they can do like you do, Roger, be an advocate for things that you want to see in our school system. And you have to get out and speak up. So,
Exactly.
thanks again, everybody. Hold it. Let me put this comment by Mr. Davenport.
Oh, Mr. Davenport, and become a lifetime member. Thank you. And James, I must say that Bishop Edmonds and Evelyn Edmonds, they became lifetime members a week ago. So we want to thank the Bishop and Evelyn for getting their lifetime memberships. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
That's great. Thanks, everybody. And make sure, like Leah said, you like, subscribe, and comment, and share this information. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Have a great day.
Have a great day. See you all.
Be our guest on the Portsmouth